executive at Barker Weber Insurance Agency, Tim Walz. Good morning.
Morning, Andy. Good morning, Bart.
Morning, Tim.
You mentioned you wanted to play the Would You Rather game, so I happen to have a few left.
I made one comment coming out of the set that Would You Rather game was pretty fun. Let's play that.
Would you rather
regretting that.
Never shave your beard again or never get your hair cut again? You got to pick one.
Ooh.
Long beard, long hair.
My hair's falling out at a relatively rapid rate, so I'll take the hair
You'll
because
take
I don't
the
think it's irrelevant at this point.
Would you rather sing your favorite song in front of a sold-out crowd or alone with the original artist?
Ooh.
Think about who the artist might be, Tim.
Alone with the original artist.
Yes.
Those are tough ones.
Well, first think about your favorite song, and then think what would you rather do, sing it in front of a crowd or in front of the person who recorded it?
I'm going solo with the recording artist.
Perfect. There we go.
Sticking to it.
Who's the artist?
Rather not say. That's fine.
I'd rather not say.
And rather not saying
that's getting pretty personal there.
Rather
Bart.
not saying that's just fine. Let's get to insurance, Bart.
Weather insurance, right?
Yeah, is that real?
It is real.
Really?
So, like, we refer to the weather insurance as like event policies.
Okay.
Like, so if you're putting on this big, huge event,
Sure.
Whatever that is, a wedding, a festival, a fair, something like that.
Sure.
Like, you can literally transfer some of those risks if you have a tornado, a storm, a snowstorm, whatever, and then recover some of your costs. Yeah. So we call them event policies. Yeah, they functionally are
Sure.
weather insurance.
That's interesting.
Well, FEMA's already declared some disaster areas and counties in Michigan for the severe weather we had in January.
Yeah.
And the governor says we've got 43 counties that are impacted by lack of weather that should get in front of the line with the SBA. So
Yeah.
there's
So
that.
I thought we always kind of watch the weather, to see if you're going to have a really busy day with phone calls and claims. And that event in February, it felt like relatively uneventful for Jackson.
That's great.
It kind of just went north of us, and we were all cheering happy cheers that customers were safe.
Of course, because
properties were intact.
Very busy the last few years
Yeah.
over the storm season.
Well, we've had some doozies, that's for sure.
What are the biggest changes that we're seeing just right now in the industry as a whole?
Ooh, so that's a tough question. So we'll kind of break that up into two pieces,
Sure.
like the Medicare side of the world and like the property casualty side of the world. So I spend the majority of my time healthcare, Medicare. Things there are almost getting better and better and better.
Okay.
Plans are relatively pricing good coverage, good benefits. Everybody's throwing bells and whistles on there, extra dental, extra vision, stuff like this. On the property and casualty side of the world, the home and auto, it's kind of the opposite side of that story. I think oversimplified insurance companies, carriers, insurers, if you will, like they all want more premium and are potentially looking for ways to offer less coverage in exchange for that.
I think
so it's a tough, in the industry we call it a hard market. It's a tough spot where everybody's kind of raising premiums and either holding coverages the same or decreasing coverages occasionally.
car insurance historically has been pretty reasonable. Were we paying too low over the last few years, or is it just the companies are changing?
That's a loaded question. That's a good question. If you asked that question to somebody who lived in Metro Detroit, they were not paying too low.
For sure.
I think across the country, like that was one of the highest auto insurance rates there was.
Really?
So they would answer, heck no, we weren't paying too low. I handled one of a claim for a client this week on a windshield repair. And, in my mind, maybe I'm old school, windshields would be $300-400, I don't know, whatever. Well, this vehicle, they become more complex. They may drive themselves or steer themselves, So I think this windshield was like $3,000 or something.
That's amazing, right?
And so I think those types of things, the more complex things get, those kind of lead themselves to
that makes sense.
maybe an increase in rate because you can't get a $300 window anymore,
Well, look at the computer on the golf cart, $5,000.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that golf cart stat.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I like that golf cart
It'd be
stat.
nice to know.
I personally have never damaged a golf cart.
No, I believe that to be true.
But Saint.
Your brother probably has.
Now, Joshua, he may not be able to drive at a couple of local courses, but I have never damaged a golf cart.
I've seen his picture up at a couple local munis over the last few years.
It's actually pretty funny. When we go in, they'll give his daughter the keys to the golf cart instead of Josh. Trust the 11-year-old.
That's right.
Well, she's just turned 13. Yeah.
Your kids, we see them all over. You're involved in a lot of community events and activities, and oh my gosh, you found some snow.
We found, yeah, so I was just saying when I was listening to you guys talk about the lack of winter, we went up north 2 times this fall and we must
great.
have gone during the 2-week period of winter. So, yeah, the first picture was our 4-year-old Henry Joseph, and that's our 2-year-old Caroline, and quick trip to Cadillac with some school friends. And
There's really not a lot of snow in those pictures either.
well, you know, that's a picture of Beth Ann and I think the only picture that exists without children.
Yeah.
So we were able to manage, 4 seconds on the ski hill together.
Well, your kids are getting old enough where they're able to take your own
Yeah,
pictures.
so there's Henry Joseph again. We are waiting for those days to come back.
Henry
You had a glimpse of it yesterday, and then today it's
Henry
gone.
looks good. He had a traumatic arm injury, right?
It was his leg.
Was it? Oh, his leg. He broke a leg,
He
right?
broke his left femur.
Yeah.
And was in this contraption of a body cast for 10, 11 weeks this fall.
Yes, I remember that.
And
Poor
then
kid.
he literally had his first game at the Y on Saturday.
That's
And
cool.
he's just kind of running around, no limp, just absolutely fantastic. This is a picture of our Caroline Grace in February. Like, as soon as the sun comes out, we're out of there. This is at a park by our house. I think that's Bloomfield Park. And we are out enjoying the sun and trying to help the kids stay active. And this is the friendly reminder that spring is coming. This is our 9-year-old William at his little baseball tournament last year.
Wow, they get a ring?
That thing is huge.
I'm telling
I
you
mean,
what,
it's absolutely.
it's crazy what they're giving these kids.
I mean, it was like a 2-day event in
Yeah.
Frankenmuth, and the thing weighs 5 pounds, and
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of coaching William. Fantastic, fantastic young athlete, and his older brother's not too shabby either.
Yeah. So speaking of Henry, that's Henry. That's his little contraption.
No, I remember you posted that right away, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So his range of motion was a little bit of neck movement for a couple months, and
He's going to love that you put this on TV.
Oh, he'll be fine.
he'll
like
be
it.
good.
He'll be a sport.
But kudos to everybody at Mott's Hospital. We
It's
spent a few days
unbelievable.
there, and then the therapist did an absolute fantastic job. Literally, he's out there just running. We went on a bike ride last night, and you would never know the difference.
I think when I
You
first
just go,
saw
go,
that,
go.
I thought, oh my gosh, I thought how I would react to that
Yeah.
poorly, very poorly. But glad he's doing better, and looking forward to some good weather and seeing you out and about in this great town we live in. Tim.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Always great to have with us. From Barker Weber Insurance, Tim Walz. The morning show continues. Stay tuned.